Unless, unless you're a lawyer, I guess it doesn't have much appeal. But thank you for being here because it is important to understand what we're getting into. My name is Joanne Von Zubin. I've been a Toastmaster since October 2007. I was introduced to contests the first, obviously, like most everyone else, the first year that I was in Toastmasters. But at that point in time, I was the president of the club that I belonged to at that point in time. And they started talking about the international speech contest. And I said, well, we don't want to hold contests. Like, we're just here to learn. And I got overruled, obviously, and our club held a contest, and I was introduced to the whole concept of competing versus simply delivering within the club, and got an appreciation for the mindset and the different pressures that are there for a contest. And since then, I have competed. I've never gotten to the division level, but that's still to come in my future, I guess. And I did spend about 12, 13 years in district leadership, which eliminated me from even being able to compete. So if I take out that time frame, we are now into the last year I competed, and this year the jury's still out as to what's going to happen. So let's talk about contests. A well-run contest has the contestants feeling well taken care of, and that they've been treated fairly, and that the officials are competent and capable. The outcome of a contest is a job well done, satisfaction for a job well done. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. How do we make sure we have a job well done? And how do we make sure that our contestants feel like they've been treated fairly and that the officials are competent in their roles? Now, obviously, if you're brand new to contests, you need some direction, and it is available through our program quality director through these amazing workshops that she is putting together. But it is also available through our mother company, our mothership, through Toastmasters International. So they issue a rule book every year, and they change it from as of July 1st each year, so that the rules are always being updated and made current. Should you ever come across something that is confusing, I heartily encourage you to write to contests@toastmasters.org and tell them, because changes that I've suggested in the past have been incorporated into the rule book. So it is always encouraging to know that they are paying attention and that they want to make sure that we are following rules that make sense. Now, this rule book covers every speech contest. Sorry, I'm going to tell you the rule book number is quickly 1171. It is available for anyone to go to toastmasters.org and download the contest rule book. The rule book is written to cover contests for all levels of competition. So from our club level right through to the World Championship of Public Speaking. It can get a little confusing knowing what rules apply to what level. Tonight, in our session, we are going to focus on club level competition, and club level competition specifically for table topics contests and evaluation contests. These are the two types of contests that the leadership of District 60 has sanctioned for us for this fall. The International Speech Contest, which is the only contest that goes through to the World Championship of Public Speaking on the international stage in August each year, will be taking place December, January timeframe with a focus on the International Speech Contest in that workshop. The rules are written to allow us to have a fair competition in our clubs. I'm going to start by asking everyone to go to chat, and in the chat to answer this question. Has your club scheduled a tabletop contest? Okay, I'm seeing very few no's, not yet. So that's encouraging that the contests have been scheduled. And if there's a no and a not yet, hopefully you are anticipating that your club will hold a table topics contest. Same question, I'm just going to put in a few little dots here. Same question, has your club scheduled an evaluation contest? Okay. I'm anticipating the same people will be saying no that said no on the first question. And again, hopefully you are encouraged after tonight to go back and pressure your club to put together a contest. Think about whether or not you need to hold one contest, or can you hold one contest with both contests taking place, or whether you need to schedule them on 2 different days. If you've got very few competitors and an hour and a half to hold your contest, you could most likely handle both contests in one day, in which case you are double duty on your judges and other functionaries for your club. I'm going to encourage you that if you have a question, that you can put it into chat, and we'll keep an side eye on that to try and catch it. And maybe if somebody else sees that question come into chat, that we can deal with anything that you have on your mind. The first thing that Toastmasters deals with, the rule book deals with, is eligibility. So who is eligible? As I mentioned, I spent many, many years in district leadership, and district leaders are not eligible to compete. For a table topics contest and the evaluation contest, the eligibility requirement is very simple. It is, are you a paid member? Are you in good standing? Have your dues been paid on time to Toastmasters International? And is your club in good standing? And a club in good standing is a club with 8 paid members. Hopefully your clubs all fit that category, and especially after September 30th, because our dues are due at the end of this month for the October to March timeframe. Not only do you need to be a paid member, a member in good standing, club in good standing, but the eligibility requirement has to be maintained through the entire process of the competition. We are competing in evaluation and table topics contests. We will go from club level to area level, division level, ending at the district level. So once again, back in chat, do you know when the district level competition for table topics and evaluation contests will take place? And do you know the dates? Okay. I'm getting a lot of no's, and that is encouraging, because that's why you're here, is to learn these rules and the processes that are taking place that relate to contests. The contests at the next level, and I should have, I was certain I wrote the dates down for our contests, for our conference. Our conference is taking place in April 24, 25. You can correct me at any point, but a lot of people said April. So the important point that I'm making is, if you compete in the, or if you have a competition now for table topics and evaluation, next April, your competitors still need to be members in good standing. So paid members in clubs in good standing. And that has to be maintained through the entire competition period, right to the division level competition. Okay. We talked a little bit earlier, and I'm going to ask this again. How many clubs do you belong to? And you can put this into chat. One. Okay. 2 and, oh, area director. Okay, well, that's good because you're here to take care of your clubs, and I congratulate you for that. Okay, 3, 2, 1, 4. Most of us belong to one club. Some of us belong to 2. A few of us belong to more than 2. So my question to you is, super contest on April 27th. So that's where we have to maintain our eligibility up until. So my question to you is, how many clubs can you compete in? And you can say all, one, none. Okay, you can compete in one if you only belong to one. But if you belong to more than one club, can you compete in all of them? If you belong to 5 clubs, can you compete in 5 clubs? And I see nods happening. Yes. And somebody saying no. In a club level, you can compete in as many clubs as you belong to. However, should you win in all 5 clubs, you are stuck with a decision, because the next level is the area level contest, and you are only allowed to compete in one area. And if you want to manage that competition, you can do so, but you need to express which area you are going to compete in. So that's it. That becomes a decision that you have to make. Okay, your club, everyone here, some have contests planned, others don't. If you don't have a contest planned, is that it? Game over for your club? Yes, no? Okay, I'm seeing head shaking. And the answer is no. No, because Toastmaster, okay, just schedule it. Yes. Toastmasters International allows that at the club level. Sometimes there aren't enough competitors that make it necessary to hold a contest. And they understand that if there are 8 members in a club, they still might want to participate in the area level contest. So a club can assign a member to move forward to the area level. However, if there are 3 members who wish to compete, then the club has to hold a contest, so that, again, in all fairness, they hold a contest so that they can put forward their winner. In District 60, there is an allowance that if an area has 4 or fewer clubs, that the clubs can put forward 2 contestants to the area level. And likewise, at the area level, if there's 4 or fewer areas, then 2 contestants can go through to the division level. In our cases, I'm encouraging you to make sure that you know, first of all, who is your area director, because at this point in time, they've been assigned their role for about 3 months. And it's time for the clubs to know who their area directors are. And you want to make sure that you've got a good relationship with your area director so that that process of putting forward a contestant and the notification of winners should your club hold a contest is going into the hands of the area director so that they can plan their area level contest. So regardless, once you, all right, we're getting a question or a statement, a question. I'm going to share screen with you. You don't know who your area director is, and that is fine, except we're going to show you how to find your area director. Let me go in here, see if I can share this to show you. All right, so District 60 has a website, toastmasters60.com. If you go to District 60 Toastmasters, under leadership, there is a list of area directors. You need to know what area your club is in, and you can get that. Well, how can you get that? Bruce, how can you find out what your area your club is in?
Go to find a club, type in your club name, and then enter that, and that will show everything.
Perfect. Oh, thank you. So find a club is up here. You put in your club name. It tells you what area your club is in. And then in my club, we are in Bay Blue Speakers is in district D or area D41. So Pandora Chung is our area director. Likewise, I also belong to TGIF, which is in F63. So Alex Corneve is our area director. So make sure you know who you find out who your area director is so that you've got that relationship set up to be able to pass along that information. So we've got our contestants. We've decided, yes, we are going to run a contest. Yay. And it is scheduled to take place. How do we go about doing that? Well, last week we had a session where Jin took us through the process of putting a club together or a club contest together. And I believe that video is available to review. I'm not going to go into a lot of information about how to put the contest together. I will, however, look at the protocols and the rules for putting a club together. So in order to run a contest, you need, in addition to contestants, you need officials. What officials do you need? And here is the list. And actually, I don't know if it is on the, I know I saw contests. Ooh, that's not. Under, here we go, under speech contests. It is not giving us that list. There we go. All right. Again, this is on the District 60, Toastmasters60.com website. So it is available to you now to review. So you need a contest chair, 1. You need a chief judge. You need 5 voting judges, a tie-breaking judge, 2 ballot counters, 2 timers, and an SAA. And SAA is not in our list here. So I'm going to recommend that that be updated to include an SAA, particularly for the table topics contest and the evaluation contest where your contestants have to be removed from the venue and brought back in one at a time. You do need a sergeant at arms to manage that process to bring in the contestants. 5 voting judges. All right. So you're in a club. You've got 20 members, you've got 5 contestants, you've got about 12 to 15 people coming to your meetings every week. Oh, are you challenged for 5 voting judges? What happens if you cannot put together 5 voting judges? Anyone? Can you still
From
hold a
my
contest?
Yes.
from my understanding, it's on a best efforts basis that you
Yeah.
made like a real effort to find those judges. And if you can't find the minimum 5, you can hold it less, but use your network.
Yeah.
Excellent.
There's 2 words in the contest rule book. It says, unless impractical.
Those are very important 2 words.
Yes.
Because they allow us to continue with our contests. And keeping in mind, the very first rule that we talked about was we want a well-run contest. We want it to be fair. Contestants have to feel that the contest was fair. We also have another, if practical, statement, and that is that our voting judges need to be anonymous. Now, when you're sitting in a club and you're all got your ballots in front of you and you're marking away during your 1 minute of silence, indeed, it's very difficult to maintain any kind of anonymity. So again, it is as practical as if you can. If you don't have 5 voting judges, what could you do to try and make sure that you do get 5 voting judges? We talked about these people just a minute ago. Are there no? All right, who did we just talk about? Area directors. If we can't find judges, we can go to our area director, and the area director is in the role of being able to connect clubs to each other. So if you've got a sister club, another club in your area that is in close proximity to you, maybe there's an opportunity there for 5 of your members to go to their club the day that they're holding their contest, and 5 of their members to come to your club. And now that's really bringing in the anonymity, because those particular judges won't know your members that well, most likely, that when they see the contest take place, they are truly working from a place of not knowing the contestants. So that's a way of managing the 5 judges rule. Again, it is not show stopping if you don't have 5. And if they are members from your own club, that is still valid. The members, so that's our judges. We talked about a contest chair. We need to have a contest chair. Contest chair that is going to manage the entire contest, run the contest throughout the time that it's taking place. The contest chair is going to do a briefing with the contestants. So the contest chair is in charge of the contestants. They will take the contestants through a briefing on the time requirements for their contest. They will take the contestants through if there is going to be microphones or any kind of equipment. If you are running your contest at a club level this year, you are allowed to do it totally online, you are allowed to do it hybrid, or you're allowed to do it totally in person. So however your club is operating, you can run your contest in that fashion. The area levels and up are totally 100% in person this year. So if you have a contestant who wins, Bruce, if you were to win the contest for your Argentinian club, you would have a problem or a very expensive flight. So that is important to keep in mind. You still would select your winner, but if the winner of the contest is off-site or out of country or out of province, they may have to concede their win to the second level contestant in order to attend the area level contest. In going through the briefing, there is a lot that needs to be covered. And again, District 60 has provided on their contest page a list of scripts. So if you, there we go. All right, so if you are the contest chair, for the table topics contest, there is a script. For the evaluation contest, there is a script. There is to take the contestants through the briefing, there's a contest chair briefing as well. And that goes over the rules, and it allows for one other thing to take place, and that is the randomization of the speaking order. If you have 5 contestants, you want to randomly select how those contestants are going to, what order they're going to speak in. And you want to make sure that it is random so that there's no element or evidence of favoritism. Oh, I'll let Joe speak first because he's got to go really fast, or he's got to go first, or he's got to go last. So you want to make sure that you don't have any of that kind of edge towards managing that random selection. Now, if you're online, there are randomizer selections, wheels that you can put the contestant names into and run the randomizer selection wheel and select them. A little more complicated when you're dealing with both in person and online. So if your club is hybrid, again, you want to find a way that random selection can be done so that it is fair to both the online contestants and the in-person contestants. You can do that by having someone draw cards or draw numbers for the online people. You just want to make sure, again, that fairness is incorporated into your process and that no one feels like they were just shot to the end because it was too difficult to deal with them. A contestant who does win has the, again, if they are unable to attend the next level contest, that position then becomes available to the alternate contestant, which would be the next contestant who came second. If that contestant is unavailable, you go down the list. And it has been known that the person who came in 4th has attended the next level contest because the other 3 were unable to attend. So it's very important that the contestants, when they compete, they know that even though they may have placed 4th, that there is still an opportunity that they may go forward, and they need to be ready for that. I guess one of the elements that is really exciting about table topics and evaluation is that there is virtually no prep that you can do in order to prepare for the contest. For a table topics contest, the topic won't be known until you're standing ready to deliver your response. And the evaluation contest, you won't know until you've seen your test speaker. So these are all parts of the contest, but understand that if you are competing, that there is a possibility that you could move forward if you don't place first and the first place person cannot go to the next level. A contestant who misses the briefing, can they still compete? Oh, okay. Good question. Good question. Oh, okay, I'm missing a few things here. Okay. Random.org, I guess, is a selection process online, kind of like the wheel thing. Can non-judge contest officials compete? Ah, good question. No, if you have a role in the contest, you are not allowed to compete. If you're a judge in a contest, you're not allowed to compete in that type of contest. So if you're a contest judge in a table topics contest, then you cannot compete in a table topics contest. You can, however, compete in the evaluation contest. So you cannot be a judge against who would be your competitors eventually, or possible. Can non-judge compete only on a different type of contest? Okay. Are there restrictions for any of the contest officials? No, they just need to be members in good standing. There is no experience, no. Contest officials do not need to, at the club level, remember, we're talking about club level only here, that there is no requirement other than to have been a paid member to participate in the club contest. Okay. Lots of prep by the contest chair, though. Well, we are trying to help by providing scripts, by providing briefing notes, and the contest rule book. All of these come together to help put the pieces together. And there are experienced Toastmasters. The district has a contest chair this year, Jen Eldegar, and if there are questions that you have, you can either go to Toastmasters International and ask, you can go to our program quality director, and you can go to our contest chair, Jen Eldegar. So are there restrictions for any of the contest officials? No, they just have to be paid members. Okay. That's great. Keep putting your thoughts in the chat if that's gonna come up so that I have to leave. Okay. Okay. So a contestant who misses the briefing can still compete. They do have to waive the requirement for a briefing, though. They have to check in before the contest chair is introduced. So once the contest begins, if the contestant hasn't arrived yet, then they are ineligible to compete. So a contestant has to be there at the beginning of the contest. They can't come in halfway through and then pick up their spot. They have to have the paperwork done, and the paperwork for a contestant is the profile and the eligibility form. And all of these forms are available through Toastmasters International. They're also available on our District 60 website. You can go to the website and pick up a table topics contest kit or an evaluation contest kit, which would have all of the materials that are required. Excuse me. So the contest chair is briefing the contestants. The chief judge is going to look after all the other officials. So they're going to brief the voting judges. They're going to brief the timers, ballot counters, sergeant at arms. There's another role in there. The tie-breaking judge. Does the tie-breaking judge, and you can put this in chat, yes or no, does the tie-breaking judge attend the chief judge's briefing? So if the tiebreaker, I'm seeing lots of no's, which is correct. But if the tiebreaker, oh, we have a yes, no, the tiebreaker judge does not attend the briefing for the other judges. If they don't attend that briefing, how do they learn what they're to do? Email. Email sometimes can be really hard. There you go. Sabrina, you've got it. The chief judge contacts them. Laura, you're right. The chief judge can contact them directly because the chief judge has to make up that relationship separately from everything else that's being done. So the tiebreaker judge is a one-to-one between the chief judge and the tie-breaking judge. And the only one who should know who the tiebreaker judge is the chief judge. So we've got our briefing going on with our judges. The judge is going to go over all of the materials that are required. For the timers, they're going to go through the timing of that the contestants have to meet, when to show the green, yellow, red card. These rules are detailed in the contest rule book. So again, if you are running a contest in your club, make sure that you go to the contest rule book. Table topics specifically are covered on page 21, and the evaluation contest specifics are on page 20. This is to ensure that you have the detailed information that goes with having the holding those contests. The timing, the timers, you will have 2 timers. Can you run a club level contest with only 1 timer? You can call on other role members. Now, a judge has to have a very specific job. So you don't want to be, your judges cannot dual role, but your ballot counters, a ballot counter could be a timer and then go out with the chief judge and do the ballot counting. So your ballot counters and timers, if required, you want to have 1 dedicated timer, but then a ballot counter could back up the timer as a second timer. And then the ballot counters, again, if you've got 2 ballot counters, they would both go out with the contest or the chief judge to do the ballot counting. There, again, in a club contest, we want it to be fair as far as practical, which means we are pulling on our members to enact their roles. Timing for the contests are all detailed in the contest rule book. Disqualification happens for evaluation contest. You have 2 to 3 minutes. If you talk less than 1.5 minutes or more than 4:30, you will be disqualified as a contestant. The rules are there to ensure that once the red card is shown, there's a short period of time for them to recognize that the red card has been shown. There's a 30-second overtime that allows for them to stop before they hit the disqualification mark. Was there something, Bruce?
Yes, for the evaluation timing, you said 4:30, but I think you meant
Oh,
3:30.
I did.
That's what I thought.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, it is 2 to 3. For table topics, 1 to 2 minutes. You have to reach at least the minimum 1. 1.5 is your yellow card, the green card at 2, and then again you have the leeway of to recognize the red card has been shown to get to the 2-minute 30 seconds. And after that point, there is a disqualification. Timing disqualification is real. So if you are a contestant, pay attention to the timing cards. I understand at the World Championship of Public Speaking this year, 2 of the 8 competitors went overtime on a world stage. That's gotta hurt. Even in a club level contest, going overtime, it hurts. So make sure as a contest that, or a contestant, that you are paying attention to the timing signals. Okay, we have our chief judge is still working with our judges. Their chief judge is going to provide the judges with their voting ballots, and they must obtain a copy or a signed certification of eligibility and code of ethics. So it is a form that simply says, yes, I am a judge for a club level contest on this date, and I recognize all the requirements of the role. I understand the ethics behind being objective and being fair to the contestants. It's all spelled out very lovely on the eligibility form, which is form number 1170. And again, these are all detailed in the contest rule book. So again, I heartily encourage you to get the rule book. The chief judge will then provide the judges with the voting ballot, and the voting ballot lays out in all situations. And I don't know, you can't see that, but that's what it looks like. And again, you can take a look through the kit that's available through Toastmasters 60.com. It lays out how the judges are going to judge the contestants. And happily, I am not going to spend the rest of tonight going through the judging forms, because they are so intricate that next week there will be another session led by Rhonda Maurer to take you through how to be a fair and consistent judge. And she will go through, hopefully, those forms to help you understand what they are, how to use them, and how they work for the judges and for the contestants, the chief judge, and the ballot counters, along with the tie-breaking judge form. So all of that will be covered next week in the judging workshop. All right. Were you in California, Bruce?
No, I wasn't. I was home.
You just know that they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of posts happening on Facebook. So.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Okay. Once the judges have handed in their ballots and the chief judge has determined who the winners are, the certificates of first, second, and third, should there be 3 or more contestants, are prepared by the chief judge and then brought back to the contest chair to announce the winners. The chief judge also completes the form called the notification of winners forms, which goes on to the next level, and all contestants must be listed on the notification of winners forms, so that all should the first contestant not be available, the area director can then go to the next contestant to get a full slate of contestants at the area level contest. That said, we have gone through the rules as far as high level for your club contest. And again, it is, as long as you are fair and consistent with running your contest, your club members and your contestants should feel like they've been treated fairly and be willing to compete in your club contest. I'm going to open the floor to a Q&A. If there is something that you were particularly curious about tonight and it hasn't been addressed yet, I invite you to unmute yourself and just give me a little wave and we'll discuss it. Bruce.
Yes, just on Shuba's behalf, because she posted a very interesting question in chat. Can the chief judge be the tie-breaking judge?
Ooh. I do not know of any specific rule that says no. Again, in a club level contest, we are looking for fairness. A chief judge is the one who is going to calculate the final winners. And it would be in my rule book, and again, I am not familiar with anything in the rule book that says the chief judge cannot do that. You want to cover your contestants so that they feel like they've been treated fairly, and I can't see how that could happen if the chief judge were filling out a ballot form. I would suggest that getting another member to do the tie-breaking judge would be far fairer to the contestants.
If I can just
That said, as practical, if there is no one else and you are observing the contest on a fair basis, then fill it in and take it forward. Run your club contest to the best that you can. Shuba?
I just wanted to add, Joanne, that the chief judge never counts the ballots alone. They're with the ballot counters. So,
Great.
so the danger of unfair counting is not there. And I have been a tie-breaking judge as a chief judge at an area contest level as well.
Ooh, all right, well.
And you're never alone in the ballot counting. The ballot counters with you.
Okay, I can't argue against it because I know of nothing in the rule book that says it can't happen. At an area level contest, I would be a little less encouraging to use that process simply because it's getting more pressure going forward, and the levels are getting higher. The contests are getting higher levels. Could timers become ballot counters? Yes, absolutely. At a club level, absolutely. All right, let's see, Rhonda?
I just wanted to mention the topic for the table topics contest.
Ah, yes, okay.
If like I've been in when the topic has been too difficult for it to be a general knowledge question. And I've also seen it where it's way too long to say the contestant's name, the topic, and then the topic again in the contestant's name. You get lost halfway through a three sentence long table topic. So I just wanted to point that out. They should be general in nature. And I would say also kind of on the shorter side as opposed to really long. But that's just from experience.
That's an excellent point, Rhonda. And absolutely, I've been to table topics contests where the prompt was so intricate that the contest chair couldn't deliver it the same way to every contestant. They were tripping over their own words. So absolutely, thank you for bringing that up. And again, it is specified in the rule book that the topic must be of reasonable length, must not require a detailed knowledge, and must lead to an opinion or conclusion. So all of these elements are in the table topics prompt, and it is in the contest rule book. All right, let's see. We've got.
Can I just add very quickly to that to remind everybody that many of our members in this district in particular don't have English as a first language. So it's even more important to think about what that question is. Is it readily comprehensible by a broad range of people? So you're being fair to all contestants.
Very good. A way to manage that as well is for the table topics contest is to have the prompt written out so that you can display it to the contestant as well. So if they're having trouble understanding the language, they can read it and see what the prompt is. All right, Laura, what would you like to ask?
Yeah, I have two questions. One is related to this. Is it the contest chair who is selecting the question, who is deciding on the question?
That's right. The
Okay.
contest chair is responsible for selecting the table topics prompt.
Okay, and my second question is that we are a bilingual club.
Okay.
Is it possible for one of the contestants to do this, to reply in French, or do they speak their evaluation in French or no?
And that is in the rule book.
Okay.
It does deal with, obviously Toastmasters is available around the world, and there are clubs that are different languages, and the contests going can be held in the club level, but it has to be all that one language. And it wouldn't go forward to the area level.
Oh, so it means we
You
could
can't
do it in
have-
French.
You could hold a whole contest in French.
Okay. But it cannot go to the, so if they win and they go to the next level, it will be in English.
That's correct.
Okay.
Sabrina.
So I have two questions.
Okay.
For the evaluation contest, contestants, from my understanding, are allowed to have notes written down on one page of paper. Like one sheet of paper. Is that correct? Because I was once helping out with a contest, and they stopped the contest because there seemed to be different interpretations. So that's something that I wanted to clarify. That they could use the front page, but it can't be both sides, and they can't use more than one page.
Oh my goodness. Okay. The rule, as I understand it, is they have to use the evaluation notes paper.
Yes, yeah, yes.
I don't know of any limitation written down in the rule book that says they can only use one, that they can only write on one side of the page. If somebody can fill more than 2 pages in 5 minutes, they're scribbling pretty fast.
Okay, okay.
Or they're writing very big. I don't know which, but unless someone corrects me, I know of nothing that says it only has to be one page and it only has to be the front of the page. All I know is it has to be that layout, that form from Toastmasters International.
The rule book actually says on page 20, you can use more than one sheet.
There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Joanne. Thank you, Andrew.
Okay,
I did have one more question.
excellent. Yeah.
It's not necessarily club related, it's more area level. I hope it's still okay to ask. But for an area contest, I noticed on the chart that you showed on the District 60 site, it said that the chief judge can't be someone who has a contestant in the same club. All the way at the bottom. Oh,
I'll get there.
yeah, the chief judge cannot belong to the same club as a contestant. So I'm assuming that same rule applies to an area level contest, or does the,
Nope,
I
it's
guess-
not specified in the area level.
oh, okay, I missed the area part.
Yep.
Okay,
That's the
that's,
division. At the division, it becomes much more complicated, and it's a great thing to bring up, because at the division level, if for instance, if Bruce is competing and he belongs to 5 clubs, it's hard to find judges that don't belong to the same club that he's in the division.
okay,
So it can get challenging to put those judges together, but that is the division level, and at club level, you don't have that problem. Bruce?
okay, I missed the division part, so thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Question, last year's evaluation speech contest, I was helping out at 2 contests, and the direction for the evaluation, the evaluation speech contestants were told that they could not write any notes during the test speaker. That they had to, I know exactly, that they were told only to do it during their 5 minutes. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
There is no limitation on that way. And yeah, contestants, I can understand contestants wanting to write the notes down as their thoughts occur to them. Absolutely. All right, we're at, I'm going to, open for any more questions, comments, anything that you're thinking didn't get covered tonight. I'm more than willing to entertain questions.
Joanne, you have a question from Brian Brinney, who asks, when do the evaluators get their form from the contest chair?
Yes, so they can get it at the briefing. They can get it before the contest begins. If they're doing the random draw, like right before the contest, they can hand it out at that point in time. They can also make it available to them when they send out the contestant profile and the contestant eligibility forms, to include that as an attachment and let the contestant print their own, as long as the contestant uses that form. Okay, does that, Brian, answer your question? Okay. All right, well, thank you for keeping me on track, for asking the questions for the areas that I didn't cover, and for making this hopefully has been informative, interesting, in that you're going to go back, and anyone who hasn't got a contest planned for their club to go and get one set up. There's lots available for your clubs to refer to for reference and resources. And as always, our program quality director is more than willing to assist in pointing you to the right direction to get information. And don't forget your area directors. Oh my goodness, they are the lifelines for our clubs. With this, I'll turn it back to our program quality director. Over to you, Shubha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joanne, for sharing your knowledge and giving us information that we all need to know for club contest. A big applause for you, and thank you so much. Now, this session has been recorded, and a recording will be provided shortly. Maybe it might take a day or two, because these recordings are very long, and then there's a process by which this gets posted on our YouTube channel called D60 TV. So it's a process, but it'll be there soon, just like the first one. You got the first one, and I just wanted to mention, with that email that was sent out to the VP of Education, if you were not there present yourself last time, otherwise you were on the email as well. The recording was provided along with all the resources that Joanne mentioned today that are available on the D60 website. And they will be provided again through another email, which will be a follow-up of this session, which will also have the recording for this session. Our next and final session is on how to judge a contest. That will be facilitated by Rhonda Mauer, Distinguished Toastmaster. She's right here. You can see her on the screen. It is on the 18th, which is a Wednesday, same time, 7 to 8 p.m. Registration begins at 6:30. So do go ahead and register, and the link will again be provided in the email in case you're missing the postings on Facebook and LinkedIn. But that's okay. Not everybody goes to social media. No worries. So make sure you ask your VP of Education if you don't see your name on the emailing list. But I can assure you that it will be, because you are here. So thank you very much for coming, and all the best. And we will see you soon. Good night.
Thank you.